All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to women's college basketball here at Viterbo University, La Crosse, Wisconsin, the R.W. Begg Senior Gymnasium. Season opener for both Viterbo and the two-time defending champion, Dordt of Iowa, the Dordt Defenders. They are number one in the preseason national poll that came out on Wednesday. So first game for new head coach Jordan Scar. Not a soft landing. Let's find out how good you are here as Dordt wins the opening tip. We'll roll up man-to-man here. We'll get all the starters for you, get the four factors in when we get a shot. We'll post feed here. Feed across, nice cut to the basket. And a early bucket here for Desta Hogendorn, 6-foot sophomore, Rock Rapids, Iowa. There's my live stats. Viterbo starters here. 3 is Marley Hughes. 10 is Pirla Tekel Foley. Nice roll of the bucket by Tekel Foley. Double teams, kicks off that. Weak side to Carly Drew. 24 is Zana Pasak. 3 is Marley Hughes, as we said. 33, Carly Drew. 20 is Nora Tucker. I think we've hit all the starters. 6 to shoot. Drive and fake by Drew. Good help defense. Triple teamed, whip across. Tucker for 3 from the corner is in and out. And rebound battled for in the lane, and it'll go to Dordt. Dordt starters are 2 Willow Bleeker, 10 Macy Sievers. She is the returning National Player of the Year and just a senior actually now, underclassman a year ago. 15, Olivia Harrison. 20, Gracie Stonehoven, and we already mentioned 40 is Desta Hogendorn. Out of bounds here, it'll stay with Dordt. 4 factors here. I always try to look in these games at shooting percentage, offensive rebounds, turnovers, and getting to the foul line. Dordt is favored in 3 of the 4 and not heavily favored in 2 of those 3. So inside, nice post move down low. And a bucket for 20, Gracie Stonehoven. 4-0 Dordt here out of the chute. One more than a minute in. Dordt going on last year's numbers. You don't have numbers this year, obviously, to look at, with this being the season opener for both teams. Baseline drive by Hughes. Whip across, deflect out of bounds. It'll stay with the V-Hawks with 14 to shoot. Apparently, just a bad pass there. All the players kind of reacted like the ball was tipped, but apparently not. So we'll go back to Dordt here. Officials tonight, by the way, Ben Leibel, Charlie Ely, Jerry Sample, good local crew. Nice feed here and a give and go into the bucket, and 6-0 here. On another bucket down low by Hogendorn. Team's man-to-man so far here in the opening couple of minutes. Whip it down low to Tekel Foley, double team, kick off that to Tucker. Tucker will drive, kick to Drew. Drew 3 from the baseline short. And a good box out there on the weak side by Bleeker to get the board. Pushing transition. It's going to be a transition bucket. Yep, transition hoop by 20 Gracie Stonehoven. 8-0 Dordt out of the chute. I'll play along with new coach Jordan Scar. Kind of got 4 of the 5 starters, right? Thought Lauren Gadel might be the 5th starter instead of Pasak, but not unexpected. Nice drive by Tucker, but off balance, and got that shot altered a little bit by Bleeker. Rebound Dordt. 3 on the way from the wing is good. That is Olivia Harrison. 11-0 Dordt here in the opening 2.5 minutes. Well, knew it was going to be a rough landing here. The opening mat that'll get extended to a full timeout. First timeout. If I can remember all these different rules with men's and women's. Women's 10-minute quarters. 5th foul of each quarter is double bonus. And then those some of those early timeouts get extended and turned into full timeouts. That's what will happen with this one here. Even though Viterbo will only be credited with taking a 30. I gather I might be more up here this year than down at the table this year, so you don't have to know those quite as well as you would otherwise, but you'd like to know them. 4 factors. Let's get back to that here. Like I said, going on last year's stats, so it's not a complete accurate gauge of players just on this year's roster, but last year Dordt shot 48% from the field. V-Hawks shot 40.7%, so big advantage for Dordt there. Offensive rebounds fairly close. V-Hawks actually won that last year, 14.2 a game. Dordt at 13.6. Turnovers in favor of Dordt, but not that far away. Dordt committed 16 turnovers last year a game, 16.4 in a national championship season. V-Hawks committed 17.8 a game. And getting to the foul line, both teams pretty equal on that. Dordt 19.5 a game last year, and the V-Hawks 19.3. Trying to think 2 keys to the game. Can the V-Hawks shoot? Haven't shot real well yet. If you shoot it well, I think you can play with them in some of the other areas. and need a bench. Said kind of played along and kind of accurately guessed 4 of the 5 starters. Now, the bench will not going to have to be developed here as the season goes along. Just waiting to reset the clock here. So we said new head coach here in Jordan Scar. We'll talk about him in a little more detail when we get a shot. Some 1-2 diamond, actually just some diamond and 1 3/4 court pressure. Trapped in the corner, dribbled into a bad spot, did Hughes. Got to come to the ball here. Tucker does. Tucker now double teamed, back to Hughes. Nice skip pass over to Drew in the corner, but couldn't handle it. Maybe a touch low on that pass through traffic. You know, I always talk when I'm doing interviews with high school coaches throughout the course of the year, and especially basketball coaches. You know, how far are you along into your season here? Do you have things kicked in? There's the first miss, I believe, for Dordt. Rebound, Tecco Foley. The team's gone to the bench so far here in the opening 3+ minutes. I always kind of talk about how far along you are, and I imagine Dordt, as a 2-time defending champion, they'll send their first subs to the table here at the next whistle. You imagine they're quite a ways along. Viterbo with a new head coach and not as many players back from last year as Dordt has. That's going to be a little bit of an issue. Deflected out of bounds by Sievers. It'll stay with the V-Hawks with 8 to shoot. Subs in for Dordt. In numbers here, 25 and 2. No, Bleeker was already in. 25 for Dordt is Taylor Drent. V-Hawks sub in there as well. I'll get you that number momentarily. That'll be the inbounders, 0 Shayna Williamson and a turnover. Williamson, a sophomore, played on the team last year, didn't play a ton. Transition 3 is short. Rebound weak side battle forward by Tecco Foley. Good rebound by her. Impressed with what we saw from her in kind of average number of minutes. Not starters minutes, but not deep bench minutes. Deflected, it'll stay with the V-Hawks. Known Jordan Scar for about 15 years, coached with him in Bangor for 4 years, 2012 to 2015. We have not talked a lot about basketball over the years. We talked a lot while he was going through this process, but 3 on the way from Hughes. Catch and shoot is short. Good box out deep here. The best box out didn't get the rebound that time. We'll talk about that in a sec. Transition look. Sievers will give it up and get it back. Sievers a drive, cut off, kick out top. 3 on the way, deep 3. That'd be an NBA level 3. That time was long from 25. That's Drent. I don't know if I got the other sub to check in. I still got to get that across. Get another steal here by Dordt. Transition look the other way. Drive hard to the bucket. No foul. Play on. Nice block that time by Williamson. And then a foul after the fact, after the block on Dordt. The first foul on either team in the ballgame. Couple of subs in here for the V-Hawks. 12 is Taylor Jacobson, senior, Bangor grad. Other sub is 14. That's Abby Ward. Ward is senior from Marshall. Bangor, Jacobson, as we said, senior from Bangor. Those 2 teams are playing in high school football tonight, and Jacobson's younger brother is actually playing in the game. So, I joked last night that Dorn and Ely probably might have had a little wager. Now a transition feed the other way. Nice side job crossing over to use the rim as an extra defender, and Macy Sievers gets that transition bucket. 13-0 now, another steal. 15-0 on the steal and bucket by Sievers. So Sievers scores 2 hoops in a period of about 5 seconds. Three from the wing is long, air ball. Hit the bracket. No, didn't hit the bracket. That came at the base of the backboard. Good hustle by Jacobson for the rebound. I was kind of joking Dorn and Ely last night. Maybe I had a little friendly wager with St. Croix Central and West Salem playing in volleyball. It might be a little friendly wager between Ward and Jacobson tonight with their 2 respective high schools playing in football. Steele Sievers going to probably get her 3rd bucket here in about a 30-second stretch, and she does in transition. 5'8" senior Storm Lake, Illinois is Sievers. 17-0 Dordt out of the shoot. High post Tecco Foley, corner feed to Jacobson. Low post feed Tecco Foley, double team comes. Double team help defense at mid-season level here for Dordt. That's the kind of thing you maybe takes you a while to hit. Transition 3 from Bleeker, no good, out of bounds to the V-Hawks. Couple subs in here. Hogadorn back in for Dordt, along with Harrison. And first action of the night for 5, Lauren Gadel for the Seahawks. I'm going to get a feeling Mrs. Dordt or Mrs. Gadel might be seated about 3 seats to our left. 4 is C.C. Davis, 5'7" freshman from St. Paul, might be Mrs. Davis to our left. 17-0 here. Got to get the Ziggy off the board at some point. Gadel drive, spin, kick, 3, wing, on the way is short, air ball, nice rebound, weak side on the miss, no foul on the rebound attempt by Davis, and Dordt has it again in transition. In transition up, no good. Third player down gets the rebound, that's Hogadorn, and gets the putback bucket. 19-0, Dordt leading here, 3.5 minutes remaining first quarter. Slipped to the bucket, but overthrew the pass that time to Gadel. And Gadel didn't slide all the way to the block there. Ideally, if you're going to run that screen and roll to the hoop, ideally I like to cut right to the block, and Gadel maybe stopped a step short. So kind of a combination. Their pass was a little strong, and Gadel didn't cut to exactly the right spot you'd like to cut to. Right to the bucket. Caught in the alley that time, kicked back out. Tried by Hogadorn. Off the window, no good. And Gadel with the board in traffic. And we're going to reach in, foul, and rebound. Sub in here for Dordt is Gracie Stonehoven. She's back in. He'll drive, kick back out, deflected, stays with the Seahawks. 19 to shoot, plenty of time to shoot here. On to Davis. Davis rise and fire. Good. First bucket of the season. Yeah, I think we got our answer. That's Mrs. Davis to our left. She's pretty happy. 19-2 Dordt. Seahawks on the board here with about 2.5 minutes left in the first, excuse me. Near steal. Reach in and a reach in foul. I think they'll get that on Jacobson. No, they're going to say held ball. Dordt won the opening tip, so the Seahawks will get it here. Bleeker back in for Dordt, as is 21 Kaylee Davis, I believe her first action of the night. Jacobson will drive, nice crossover. In traffic, shot up short, no good. Rebound down to Sievers. Nice transition look that time in traffic. A tough pass that time. That was a kind of a headman pass, for lack of a better term in hockey, from about the opposite elbow to kind of the elbow on the opposite side of the floor in traffic without any sort of an angle. That's a tough pass to complete. Nice pass completion. Sievers, good hands from Stonehoven and catch that pass, and we'll get our first trip to the foul line for either team tonight, as Stonehoven will shoot 2. Personal for the Seahawks was on Sheena Williamson, her first, team's first. Hope to have Seahawks new head coach Jordan Scar on after the game. Makes them both, does Stonehoven 21-2. High post to Gadel. To Williamson. Split to the bucket by Gadel. And Gadel wants to shoot that. Kicks out to Davis for 3 off the heel. And saved by Gadel, but taken by Sievers in transition. To Bleeker. Bleeker up in traffic, no good. And thought came out of bounds that time, but to say okay that time was Abby Ward. 3 now on the way from Gadel is good. 21-5 now. Transition 3, Sievers to answer, no good. Rebound Taylor Jacobson. Transition feed to Williamson. Short on the shot in transition. Rebound Sievers. Tough pass completion again. Got off balance because of that. Third player down gets the rebound again. Kick out 3 off that for Bleecker is good. 24-5 now the Dordt lead. Some point here you just got to settle in here and get the game to a point where it's a reasonable margin. Get back to a reasonable margin and maybe make a run in the second half. Steal on the attempted cross-court pass. Stolen by Davis. 3 now on the way in transition is off the bracket. Rebound. Put back Sievers. Might have shuffled the feet that time, but no call. 26-5 now the Dordt lead. About a 12-second difference here, game and shot clock. And Dordt could get the final shot of the quarter if they'd like. The Hawks could go 2 for 1 if they like here. 3 no good, and Dordt can hold here for the final shot of the quarter. What we've seen so far, that's not going to be the case. Deflected out of bounds, 23 left in the quarter. Hughes back in for the V-Hawks. And 13 in her first action tonight, Lydia Niederstad. Sievers, good drive and fake pull-up elbow jumper is short. And battle for the rebound, that'll be a held ball. V-Hawks got the last one, so that should go to Dordt. 14.8 left here in the quarter. Nice inbounds play down low and shot up and no good. You ought to get the rebound with 10 to shoot. Now push in transition to Davis. Pass is short, intercepted. Crossing half court with 3 transition feed, knocked out of bounds with half a second remaining here in the quarter. So would have time to catch and shoot here. Does not have to be a tip with half a second left. Sievers will inbound. One play you don't have to worry about the inbounder. He'll get it in the lane and does not get a shot off down low that time, does Schoenhoven. 19-0 Dordt out of the shoot, and they lead 26-5 after 1. We're probably going to have to put together 2 runs to get back into this. Some sort of a run here in the first half to get it to a workable margin, and then some sort of a run in the second half to hopefully get into the ball game. Sup at the quarter for the V-Hawks, 30. Olivia Colts, Tecco Foley will check back in. Bleecker will check back in for Dordt. New head coach Jordan Scar. That hiring was made on September 18th, so about 5 weeks ago is when Jordan Scar was officially hired here at Viterbo. Last 5 years as an assistant at St. Mary's up in Winona. One of his top players there, Holman grad Brooklyn Paulson, is one of his assistants. And she'll help. A good college career. I think he had 1,000 points there, and I think he had 1,000, had like 13 or 1,400 or something like that at Holman. I believe she might be the second leading scorer all time in the program at Holman. Before St. Mary's, Scar was at Valley City. They were in the North Star at that time. V-Hawks were in the North Star at that time, so got to see Jordan Scar here for a handful of years, and that probably would have been, I think would all of that been against Lionel Jones as a head coach, or might have been the last years of Bobby Vandenberg, but for sure most of those would have been something like two and maybe all 3 would have been with Lionel Jones as the head coach. Should mention that Lionel Jones left. He's heading a AAU program out of Eau Claire, and he's also coaching Holman High School. Former top assistant Carter Hayden moved on to Augustana, South Dakota Division II program. I believe he's I believe he might be the top assistant there like he was at Viterbo last year. He was there. They had screens hard here, and they do it pretty effectively, does Dordt. Weak side to C.C. Davis. Hughes will drive side of the lane. Kicks to a 23 Ashley Nikolai. Missed that in. Good job fronting the post that time by Hogendorn, and gets the steal. Drive, kick, steal, Davis. And a loose ball foul on Dordt. A lot of fouls in this game thus far. I think just the 4th foul on either team. 3 on Dordt and 1 on the V-Hawks to this point. Mentioned Jordan Scar at St. Mary's. Before that at Valley City up in North Dakota in the North Star. and an assistant at EWL for a couple of years before that. So made the rounds, been an assistant here for about 10 years. Steal by Dordt and Stonehoven. Receivers in transition, nice feed, and the layup is good on the weak side. And it was 15 Olivia Harrison with the bucket. 28-5 the Dordt lead here, about a minute into the second quarter. In traffic to Teco Foley. Tell you one thing on Dordt here. Dort's pretty aggressive defensively. We'll get a foul and a drive here. And one of the players off the ball, Severs, she got bopped in the nose. We got hit in the face more than the nose. And Coach Bill Harmsen going to come over and check on her. Drawing the foul was C.C. Davis. Davis will shoot two, I believe, first trip to the line for the V-Hawks. 28-5, they trail. 8:41 remaining first half. And free throw by Davis, no good. Scar also coached some baseball. Head coach at GET, was an assistant at Bangor for 4 years before that. Played at Dubuque, pitcher, left-handed pitcher. And Davis makes the second, 28-6. Transition the other way, shot no good. Battle for the rebound and deflected and stolen. Stolen by Harrison. Little post feed, kick back out. Good defense by Teco Foley. Down to 8 to shoot. Haven't been any real shot clock issues for either team. Nice cut to the bucket baseline, and the layup is good by Bleeker. 30-6 Dordt leads. Trying to hit Teco Foley on the roll. Like I said, they're ahead of other teams at this point in the season. As good as they've been, as many players as they've got back, and their help defense is at a mid or late season level is Dordt's. 3 now on the way from the wing is going to be off to the right and missed everything entirely. Got a piece of everything, but Dordt got the rebound anyway, so play on. Nice transition feed, nice job running the floor, and a foul. Stonehoven will shoot 2. The Hawk personal will be on, I believe, Niederstedt. That was on Niederstedt, her first. Niederstedt checked out there after committing the foul. 2 free throws here for Stonehoven. 31-6 as she makes the first. I believe Jordan Scar's first head coaching job in basketball. As we said, he was a head coach in baseball at Galesville, but I believe first head coaching job in basketball. And good minutes for Davis. Tucker will check back in to replace her. Hughes with it up top to Teco Foley. Hughes with it. Nice drive from the left wing by Drew, but cut off. Kick to Tucker. 3 from the corner is short. Battle for the rebound and chase down in the corner. V-Hawks get a second chance with Drew. Starters back on the floor here for Viterbo early in the second. We saw now feed down low to Teco Foley near the left block, missed the layup, and then a foul on Teco Foley on the rebound as it went over the top on Severs. Drive, pull-up jumper from the wing, no good. Rebound weak side, Stonehoven. Her put back up, no good. Rebound, Teco Foley. Drive in transition, shot up in good for the V-Hawks by Zuzana Pasak from Poland. Let's put some full court pressure on here. Get it over with about 3 seconds to spare. One of the things I'd be interested to see at Dordt here, and going to be tough, I would imagine, get him into a half-court game as 3 from the wing is good by Bleeker. 35-8 with about 6 minutes left here in the first half. So far it's been transition. The defense has been good. But haven't had to run a lot of just half-court sets or anything like that. So pull-up three from Hughes on the opposite side to answer, no good. Rebound weak side Drew, and a held ball, which will go to Dordt. Subs in for Dordt, with Sievers out and Schoenhoven out. Drent back in. New guard back in as well, replacing Sievers. Three from the wing from Bleecker is short. Rebound in the lane down to Hogendorn. New sub here is 13 Aubrey Burkhardt, I believe her first action of the night. Drive, foul. Bleecker will shoot two. Preseason conference polls for both of these teams have come out. Vihawk came out earlier this afternoon. 37-8 Dordt here, 5:40 remaining first half. Tucker with it. They front the post well. The help is good. Drive by Tucker. Weak side to Drew. Drew will drive. Loses it on the drive. Battle for the loose ball near the block. Tekel Foley come out of there with it. Still plenty of time to shoot, so that's not an issue. Corner feed to Drew. Drill dive baseline up top to Pasak. Pasak for three from the top of the key, off to the left. And rebound down to Drent. Transition. Steal by Tucker. Hawks the other way, 3-on-3. They'll push to Drew. Drew pull up about 17-footer is good. First bucket of the year for Carly Drew. Sophomore from Westfield. Saw her play in high school. She was very good. Three to answer, no good. Rebound Pasak. They had a player whose name escapes me at the moment that went, I think, to like Michigan Tech Division II. So they had a returning all-conference player at Viterbo in her sophomore year and a D2 player a couple of years ago. Saw them against Holman. Those two both had about 30 and about a 60-40 win, something like that. Tucker on the baseline cut. 7 to shoot. Deep three from Pasak is short. Good box out and a rebound for Drent. Transition feed down low. Good job letting the defender go by. Missed the layup. Lost it on the way up on the putback did Bleak, and Tucker comes out of there with it. Like to see Dordt in a half-court game. Like to see Dordt in a game with a really tight whistle. Not going to affect the outcome of this one. Euro step by Hughes, but a nice block by Drent. Get a bunch of subs here at the next stoppage. In transition, Bleecker layup good. 39-10. Good crowd from Dordt, too. Probably maybe 3 dozen people there on the opposite side behind the Dordt bench. Maybe 2 dozen. 2 dozen to 3 dozen. Decent trip. Not a short trip either. Probably like a 6-hour drive on a Friday night. Tekel Foley kicks off to Hughes. Hughes a baseline drive. Thought about the skip pass to the opposite corner instead of Tucker. Tucker will fire up a deep three. Good. First bucket of the night for Nora Tucker. 39-13. And transition the other way is answered by Harrison. So 41-13. So getting back into this game, going to take 2 runs. You're going to take a run here in the first half to get it to a reasonable number, and then would take some sort of a run in the second half to actually get into it. Drew now to answer for 3. Starting to heat up a little bit from deep. Drew, all-freshman team honorable mention as a steal here by Tucker. All-freshman team and honorable mention last year in the Chicagoland. Drew, rise and fire 3 is short. And rebound down to Burkhardt. They kind of run 2 different transitions, does Dordt, and they both run them pretty well. They kind of run a center of the floor transition. They run a little more traditional sideline break. We'll get a stoppage here as the first horn under 5 minutes in quarter. A bunch of subs for both teams at the next break. 41-16, Dordt leads 2.5 minutes remaining first half. Yeah, 2 all-conference players for Viterbo a year ago. Drew, who's returning. She averaged. Got that on a different sheet of paper. 9 points, a little more than 2 rebounds. Good free throw shooter, 81% last year. And the other player, Macy Stelner, 8 points and 64 total assists on the season. If I saw right, I think she recently got engaged to Ryan Daines, who's a nice football player at UWL. Stelner from Westby, Daines from Westby, so high school classmates there. Congratulations to her. I think we kind of ran through all the Jordan Scar work from over the years. Now 5 returning players for the V-Hawks. Hughes has started, who averaged 6 points, 3.4 assists, 3 rebounds, couple steals, good foul shooter, 83% a year ago. Teco Foley, 4.3 points, 4.2 rebounds, good free throw shooter, also at 70%, especially for a bigger girl. We mentioned Drew. Tucker averaged 5 points a game last year, but wasn't too far away from being a 50, 40, 90 player. Limited attempts, but shot 88% from the line, 42% from 3, and shot in the 40s for overall, so Tucker hit that 1-3 earlier. The schedule didn't get a ton easier for the V-Hawks in a week. They play St. Francis of Indiana, who's ranked 8th, and that's on the road. So not a soft landing here for the V-Hawks to start the year. Conference teams that are ranked, St. Francis is ranked 19th, St. Francis of Illinois. Governor State was the first team receiving votes, so unofficially 26th, and then Olivet Nazarene got a few votes. So 3 teams from the Chicagoland got some vote ranked or got votes in the preseason poll. The puck to the Mountains to the V-Hawks. Tucker with it. Top to Sheena Williamson. Might post to Gadel, now to Davis. Back to Gadel. Got to go immediately into post move. Can't dribble a whole lot against good help defense. And a steal here by Davis. Thank you. Sorry I lost you there for a second. You probably heard I had to sneeze. So held ball after that rebound down low, which will go back to the V-Hawks. Dordt not unexpectedly picked first in the Great Plains this year. 10 of the 12 first-place votes in that poll. V-Hawks came out early today. They were picked 9th of the 13 teams. Mount Mary new to the league this year. Steele. Sievers with a nice headman pass down low and the layup good by Schoenhoven. 43-16, another steal. And again to Schoenhoven in transition. And maybe got away with a foul that time, did Williamson. Jacobson came out of there with the rebound and finally corralled by Viterbo. Transition to Tucker. Corner feed, 3 on the way from Jacobson from the corner is good. They were Jacobson for 3, 43-19. Not much of a shooter is Jacobson, more of a ball handler last year, backup point. Maybe a third point guard might be a better way to describe it. We'll get a reach-in foul here on Tucker. But as we were saying, V-Hawks picked on 9th of the 13 teams in the Chicagoland. Top 8 make the conference tourney. V-Hawks were the 8th seed last year in that conference tourney. Men's poll also came out earlier today. V-Hawks picked 11th of 12 teams, and no Mount Mary in men's basketball, obviously. Minute left in the half, 43-19. Dordt in front. And 2 free throws here for Schoenhoven. We'll take a break at the half here. We'll let you catch the dance team in its entirety. They'll do that same routine we saw last night as Schoenhoven makes 1 of 2. That same routine we saw last night included the baseball players and some of the women's cross-country team members. Gadel elbow jumper, no good. Dordt could go 2 for 1 here if they want. 20-second difference game and shot clock. Sievers will pull up instead, take the elbow jumper, which is good. 46-19. Was 19-0 out of the shoot, so it's been 27-19 since then. Since the initial shock, Viterbo's played okay, but obviously 19 out of the shoot is not ideal. Hogan Dorn back in, replacing Drent. I'd like to see Dordt in a little more of a half-court game. I'd like to see them with a tighter whistling. Dordt will get the final shot of the half. That should be a traveling on Gadel, but they allow him to play on. Nice extra pass, Tucker to Jacobson. Jacobson for 3 air ball off the hands of Williamson on bounds, and Dordt will get the final shot of the half if they'd like. So 46-19. We'll see if Dordt holds for one here. You imagine they will. Now's a chance to work on this kind of stuff that you haven't done for 7 or 8 months or so in a game situation. Nice backdoor cut by Sievers, deflected and stolen by Gadel. 6 seconds. See if Vioch can get some sort of a shot off here. Jacobson's got it with 2. Got to fire one up as Davis did. Got it blocked, and that'll be the half. 46-19, Dordt leading Viterbo at the half. Said it was 19-0 out of the chute, so 27-19 since. Obviously got down that huge deficit early and haven't gotten a whole lot closer than that since. Setter, we're going to take a timeout here, be a 15-minute half. We'll rejoin you here in about probably 12 minutes or so. For sure want to get the volume here so everybody can catch the music with the dance team performance. That includes members of the baseball team and the women's cross-country team. So back with you in about 12 minutes or so. Right back here at the R.W. Begg Senior Gymnasium, Viterbo University, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Dordt leading Viterbo 46-19 at the half. Dordt shot 50% in the first half. Vhawks shot 25%. Dordt 3 of 9 from 3. Vhawks 4 of 18, 22%. Dordt got to the foul line more, 7 of 8. Vhawks just 1 of 2 from the line. Turnovers 8-3 in favor of Dordt. A lot of points off turnovers. Rebounds were pretty even. 15-13, including 5-3 in the offensive glass. So 4 factors, as you would expect in a 27-point game at the half. Outshot them 2-1. Turnovers 5 more. Offensive rebounds, as we said, fairly even, and got to the line 8-2. Individually, Dordt in the first half. Leaker had 12, 2 of 4 from 3, 4 of 8 from the field. Sievers had 10 on 5 of 7 shooting. Schoenhoven had 10, 3 of 4 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. 6 for Hogendorn, 5 for Harrison, and 3 points for Drent. Rebounds, Drent leads them with 4 at the half. Sievers with 2 first half assists. Vhawks in the first half, Nora Tucker leads them with 5. A couple of rebounds as well. C.C. Davis had 3. Oren Gadel hit a 3-pointer. Taylor Jacobson hit a 3-pointer. Carly Drew hit a 3-pointer. So 4 different players have hit the 4 threes for Viterbo. And Pasak had a bucket. Nobody with more throw up. Tecco Foley led the Vhawks with 3 rebounds in the first half. And Hughes had the only first half assist for Viterbo. Got to improve in that area too. Will be Dordt ball to begin the second half. 46-19. Yeah, we'll spurt together, see what happens. That'd be my thoughts here at the half. Looks like starters for Viterbo. Check here quickly for Dordt. 2 and 40. Yep, starters for both teams here to begin the second half. Drive through the alley. Kicks opposite wing. Got to cut off that baseline. Drive, loose ball. Able to come out with 4. Short wing jumper is good from Hogendorn. Got to get a little better with the left hand. I think that's showed a little bit for Viterbo. Right? Pasaka deep 3, top of the key is long. We've gone short side down to Harrison. 3 on the way from the wing is long. Rebound weak side saved. Kept by Dordt. Drive floater up and no good. And rebound weak side Drew. Transition to Tucker. Pass was maybe a touch low, but not too far below the waist. Maybe upper thigh high. Thought Tucker maybe could have handled that one. Not perfect. Wasn't right in between the 2 and the 0, but wasn't too far below the mark. Trying to push and turn it over. Dordt, as we said, completed some high degree of difficulty passes in that first half. Well, they head screens hard, and they're still able to get back and recover with help defenders. Hughes for 3 is off to the right. Rebound Tecco Foley. Her putback is up. That is no good. And rebound, get a held ball or reach-in foul. Held ball is what Ben Leibel will say here on the near side. That'll stay with Viterbo. Lost my live stats. There we go. Now they're back up. 48-19, Dordt leads here. About 8.5 left in the third. On to Pasak. Hughes is open in the corner, didn't get it to her. Instead, they try to go kind of mid-post that time to Tecco Foley, and she draws the foul. We'll post to Tecco Foley, back to Hughes. The ball reversal to Tucker. Tucker for 3, good. Second 3 of the night for Nora Tucker. She's got 8. 48-22. Transition feed. Try to do a spot pull up 12-footer in the lane is good from Harrison. Smooth and under control when they drive too. Easy to see why Dordt's had so much success the last couple, and more than the last couple of years. They had a shot to maybe be a national champion 3 years ago as well. Got upset in a Sweet 16. Tucker rise and fire three. That's no good. Battle for the rebound. Drew got knocked down, no call. Transition feed. Harrison, good job to let the defender go by. He was in the layup is good. 52-22, 30-point game. Early third. We thought about the baseline jumper instead of steal. Steal by Stonehoven. Stonehoven all the bucket layup good. And Tucker this time will bring it across. Heels will start on the wing. I think Dordt does pretty well defensively. They do a good job of forcing you to run your offense. Nice drive and floater by Marley Hughes. Another thing I say the same they do a pretty good job of forcing you to run your offense a greater distance away from the hoop than you'd like. Drive to the bucket and a foul. And Tekel Foley will pick that one up. First foul of the half on Viterbo. Second on Tekel Foley. Subs in, Drent back in for Drent back in as is Burkhart for Dordt. Hughes remains in. C.C. Davis back in. Tekel Foley stays in. Drew stays in. New sub here is 14 Abby Ward. First of two good for Bleecker. 55-24. About 3 minutes into the second half. Drew, rise and fire three from the wing, in and out. Good rebound in traffic that time by Ward. Let's get past weak side to Davis. Dangerous pass, but completed it. Davis now drive. Stood around and blocked that one pretty easily, did Hogendorn. Driving in transition, layup up and good for Drent from Sievers. (58-24) was 46-19 at the half. So 12-5 here in the opening 4 minutes of the second half. Well, there's the help. Yeah, dangerous pass. They're going to front the post that hard. You got to get a little better spacing. Kind of throw a lob to the back door. Got to post up higher too if you're Tekel Foley. Maybe post up a lane line spot or two higher, and then throw it to the kind of the outside of the lane on the block. Three no good. Rebound Davis. Nope, got it taken away. Shot up, foul, and will go to the line for a three-point attempt. Will Taylor Drent. Yeah, they're going to play. They're going to. And the ball pressure's good. They front and they get backside help. But in concept, you got to take advantage of one of the three. If they're going to front, you got to move higher up to take that front and move that fronting player closer to where the ball is. You can kind of throw it to a spot near the baseline. Then when the help defender comes, you're hopefully into a one-on-one instead of a one-on-two. Three-point play by Drent is completed. 61-24, nearing the midpoint of the third. Hughes with it. Top two, Shayna Williamson in at that last timeout. Missed the runner. This drive pull-up jumper is short from Burkhart. Battle for the loose ball. That'll be a held ball. That'll stay with Dordt. We get a baseline left inbound. Shot clock reset to 20. And run America's play number 2, where you take that cutter to the opposite side instead of the near side corner. 10 to shoot. Show and go, kick to the corner. 3 on the way from the corner is in and out from Burkhart. We'll get a rebound foul on the weak side, I believe, on Dordt. It will be. Harrison will pick up that foul. And nobody in real foul trouble. I don't think anybody's got in the game's got more than 2 at this point. Only 2 fouls on each team. Haven't been real close to the bonus 2 free throws in either quarter in the first half or in this third quarter either. Midpoint of the third, V-Hawks down 61-24. Giedel drive left side of the lane. Turnaround jumper is short. Battle for the loose ball. Hughes tried to skip it down low to Davis, did, but she had to pull it back out. Williamson now for 3 is in and out. And rebound down to Harrison. High ball screen, double screen that time. Skip pass off that to the weak side corner for 3 is good. Line drive 3 from the corner by Aubrey Burkhart. Try to get that correct. 5'7" junior, Crystal Lake, Minnesota. And up to Davis. Not a surprise, but don't see a lot of defensive flaws here in the 2-time defending champ. Get good ball pressure, front the post well, they get good backside help. They double team well. They hedge well. And a foul in transition here on Abby Ward. That'll be the media timeout here of this third quarter. 64-24 here, Dordt out in front. Shooting numbers have actually gotten a little worse for Viterbo since the half. Dordt up to 51%, V-Hawks down to 24%. Neither team shooting it great from 3. Obviously a little different team from a year ago, but the Hawks did do a pretty good job of getting to the line last year, and tonight they've only gotten there 2 times. Stelner obviously helped in that regard. McCurdy helped in that regard. She graduated as well. Turnovers 9-4, so the V-Hawks only committed 1 turnover here in the first 6 minutes of the third. Offensive rebounds in the neighborhood. Bleecker leads Dordt with 14. Schoenhoven has 12. Sievers has 10. Harrison and Hogendorn in the neighborhood of double figures as well with 9 and 8 respectively. Tucker leads the V-Hawks with 8. Only player for the V-Hawks with more than 3 points and more than 1 field goal, obviously, as well. High ball screen. Switched. Ward now on Sievers. Well, post feed and a foul. Got Hughes in a spot where she's not real comfortable playing, and on a switch that time got matched up against Drent. Hughes at 5'8" is decent size for a guard, but Drent a little bigger at 6 foot. It's only a fight like heck not to automatically switch screens. Except at the end of a quarter, end of a game. That's times where you do maybe want to switch screens once in a while, but a nice backdoor cut by Sievers and a nice find in traffic from Schoenhoven. 66-24. 8 straight at the moment here was 58, maybe been 54-24. It's more than that. I think it's 12 straight. Hughes for 3 to answer is good. Only Hughes for 3. Giedel will get that assist. And in transition the other way, bucket by Schoenhoven. There's the high post feed. The help's coming. Now you can't dribble out of that. You either got to catch. Ideally, there you catch and go directly into a post move to score, or you kick and repost and get a lower post spot because the help defender can't immediately go back to you. They got to worry about the kick out. Subs in for Dordt. Austin on the dribble and a steal. Steal by Mackenzie Goodwin. Goodwin to the bucket, overlaid the layup, put up by Schoenhoven, no good but a foul. Ward will pick up that foul, send Schoenhoven to the line to shoot 2. Yeah, Hughes now has a couple of field goals, joins Tucker in that group. 69-27, 2:54 left in the third. And Schoenhoven makes the first of two. Man, imagine the starters for Dordt will not get a lot of action in the fourth quarter. As Hogendorn will check in for Harrison. Carly Drew back in for the V-Hawks. Correction, that was 23 Ashley Nikolai in, not 33 Drew. Williamson drives, cut off. They spin to the bucket by Gadel. Gadel shot up in traffic high off the window. Right attempt that time. Short, and a rebound off the hands of Dordt will stay with Viterbo. Gadel trying to post off that inbound. Three on the way is blocked. 10 to shoot. Davis will drive, 5 to shoot. Pick off to Hughes. Hughes kicks off. 3 away from Nikolai, blocked, and that'll be a shot clock violation. They got it quickly enough, did Dordt, that they can play on and go the other way with Goodwin. She is fouled, and we'll go to the line for a three-point attempt. Will Mackenzie Goodwin. 5'10" senior, Kingsley, Iowa. Now, these things happen. Viterbo was on the other end of one of these last year in the conference. It may have been Calumet who they played in basketball last night. They played in volleyball last night, I should say. Three-point play by Goodwin is completed, 73-27. Well, they won about 90-40. Viterbo did. Usually you're going to hit one of these, going to hit the one or two of these every year where everything goes right and you blow out somebody, and you're going to have one or two of these every year where it doesn't go, nothing goes right, and you're going to lose to somebody. 10 to shoot. Drive in traffic, no good, but a foul. Good drive by Williamson, picks up a trip to the line. Drent back in. Davis back in for Dordt. Replacing Schoenhoven and Hogendorn. Hughes out for the V-Hawks. Chloe Authen, her first action of the night. 5'3" freshman from Duran. That's where Lionel Jones came before going that club program up in Eau Claire and Holman High School. First of two, no good from off here. Searching for her first college point. $73-27, $1:49 left in the third. 1 of 2 from off. That's on the it's on the score sheet in college. 73-28. Drive, spin, kick out, 3. Line drive, 3. Off the bracket, bounce off the bracket a second time, then rebound Gadel. Transition to Nikolai. Williamson with it. They work the perimeter off. Near side to Davis. 5 newcomers on the floor at the moment. Nope, Gadel's on the floor, so 4 newcomers on the floor at the moment. Transition feed, opposite side. Created some space, stripped night time. Good defense down low. And then draws the foul. We'll go to the line. Williamson will pick up that foul. Good strip on the first play by Williamson, but got her on the arm on the putback attempt. 25 is Miley Zomer in for Dordt. Tucker back in for the V-Hawks for Davis. First of 2 from Goodwin is good. 74-28, $1:07 left in the quarter. So I'd hope to be joined by Viterbo head coach Jordan Scarr after the game here. More big picture stuff with him. Kind of knew they were sledding uphill tonight in this matchup, but talk about some big picture stuff with him. Drive, nearly traveled but kept it. That's going to be a double dribble. Traveling is officially called, but had picked up her dribble, had Gadel, and kind of momentarily forgot that. Dordt could go 2 for 1 here again if they wanted. 45 on a game clock, 27 on the shot clock. Now they've shown no inclination to do that though. They play their style. They go right to the hole, and we'll take a shot. We don't even need a plan to go for 2 for 1, and Viterbo actually doing a decent job defensively to prevent a 2 for 1. V-Hawks to get the final shot of the quarter. Drive, floater, good. And a foul. Burkhart will score on that floater. Got fouled, go to the line, 3-point attempt. Gadel picked up that foul, her first. That does put the V-Hawks over the limit, but only 24 seconds left in the quarter, so that won't be a factor. Missed the 3-point attempt. We'll post feed. Gadel, kick out. It was not Gadel down low. Deep 3 from Tucker is good. Well, Tucker's made some shots tonight, but unfortunately there haven't been a lot of players, that have made shots with her. 77-31, Dordt over Viterbo here after 3. See, it was 50-25 at the half. It's still 50. It's 51-26. Basically, shooting continued in that second quarter at the same level. V-Hawks did make 3 of 4 threes in the third quarter. They were shooting 3 of 8 threes, but still decent. Subs in at the quarter here as well. Not even in 3-point shooting. Still getting to the line a lot more is Dordt, and shooting well from there. 14 of 16. V-Hawks 3 of 5. 10 turnovers to 4, so just 2 turnovers in that third quarter after 8 in the first half. Offensive rebounds 8-5 in favor of Dordt. All those things you like to see here. Obviously got to shoot it well, but getting to the line and getting offensive rebounds and not turning it over to maximize possessions have all been in favor of Dordt tonight. Overall, 10 turnovers, not bad though. V-Hawks, as we said, committed nearly 18 a game last year, so that's not too bad in that regard. Not getting to the line, at least tonight not getting to the line like they did last year, not hitting the offensive glass as well as they did last year. Now, Sievers, as we said earlier, the national tournament MVP and the National Player of the Year last year. Yep, so we'll have it here first to begin the fourth quarter. Sock, Hughes, Tucker, Tecco, Foley, Drew. So starters for the V-Hawks. Missed the shot, did Tucker. Follow, and the putback is good. Well, Tucker having a nice night offensively. We'll get a foul after the inbound. They'll get that on Hughes. 77-33. So Tucker in double figures with 14. 15 for Stonehoven, 14 for Bleecker, 12 for Sievers for Dordt. After a bevy of home events this week, I don't think anything here in the RW Begg Senior Gymnasium till a week from tomorrow, which will actually be November. So 24th here, and I believe this is the final home event in the Beggs Gymnasium. Turnover back to Dordt. Some full court man-to-man pressure, it appears. Dordt will hold and run some offense. Low post feed overthrown and a steal by Drew. Baseline drive, Pasak draws a foul. We'll shoot 2. Outside official Charlie Ely had that call. That's McKenna Ely's dad, for those of you who are fans of the volleyball team. Sample's son, whose name is escaping me. Ivan? Name is escaping me. Had some tryouts in the NFL a few years back. So Passac misses the first, stays 77-33, a little more than a minute into the fourth. Transition, this is a Case, no, this is a 5. That's Nikki McSpadden. Low post feed, and the layup is good by Schoenhoven. Correction, that was not Schoenhoven. It was 22 Liv Klein, beg your pardon there. Right by Passac. Fucked it out of her hands. Stay with the V-Hawks. 19 to shoot. 32 Taylor Watson, believe first action of the night for Dordt. And 3 Casey Hansen back in. How many did they bring here? They brought 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They brought about a lot more players than you usually bring for a non-conference game. Brought about 16 or 18 players, it appears, did Dordt. Another foul here. Tucker will shoot 2. Foul is on 35, Miley Zomer. Tucker's free throw is good. Nice night for Tucker offensively tonight. He's now got 15, 3 of 7 from deep, 5 of 11 shooting overall, 3 rebounds as well. More of a shooter last year. They're probably going to need her as a little more of a, in addition to having to take some of the scoring load, which you've seen tonight, probably going to have to defend and get some rebounds as well. We'll get a moving screen here on Dordt. Picking out a number here. That'll be whistled on 30. Lamar Grant will pick up the offensive foul. Full post feed, got away with the travel that time, did Kira John in her first action tonight. And a 2-point basket from the wing by Passac. 79-36. Fouled in, will go to the line as Grant. There's some counting here, 6, 7, 8, 10. 16 players that were listed in the book for Dordt. Passac will check out. Lydia Niederstadt in for her. I think John on the floor for the first time tonight. Saw some good things out of her in limited minutes last year. Imagine chance for her to take a little bit of a bench role this year, and the Hawks going to need that here. Klein and Goodwin back in for Dordt. McSpadden and Zomer out. High post feed to John. Nice drive by John. Nice drive to the bucket. Layup good. 81-38, 7.5 to go. Dordt 35-2 each of the last 2 seasons. So 70-4 over the last 2 seasons. They're going to go to 71-4 in a 3-season stretch. Niederstadt trying to back her defender down. Next to John, thought about an 18-footer. Nice show and go by John. Got the shot blocked, whipped it back in. 10 to shoot yet. Got caught underneath the rim in the alley that time, did Niederstadt, and hit the underside of the rim on the low block shot. Good deep low post position too. That's something you like here. Ideally, you like that above the block and outside the lane as opposed to in the lane, because you only got 3 seconds once you catch it in the lane. But 3 from the wing, no good from Niederstadt. And a foul in the backcourt on Carly Drew. Subs in here. 11 Trinity Watson and Zomer back in for Dordt. Drew will check out. Davis back in for Tucker for Viterbo. And Taylor Jacobson back in. I think maybe first time we've seen her in the second half. 6.5 to play. Dordt up 81-38. Pull-up wing jumper is short. Rebound V-Hawks Jacobson. 56 to Davis. Davis drives, forces one up in traffic, no good. Rebound down to Goodwin. Three from the corner, that is good. Switched one home from the wing, did Liv Klein. 84-38 as we pass 6 minutes left. Now Davis got to turn their corner and go there. If your defender's going to sag off you that far, turn the corner and go. Good high post flash by John, but she'll have to, well, it should have been either double dribble or travel, but they allow play to go on. A 46-point game with under 6 to play. Play on. Nice spin move by Goodwin in the layup. Good. Steal by Goodwin again. Tried to chase her down, overlaid the layup. Good hustle back as the third defender by Davis to clear that rebound. Don't assume the layup, hustle back. Niederstadt with Niederstadt going to take about a 28-foot-3 short air ball and out of bounds to Dordt. Grant back in for Dordt, placing Goodwin. And Davis coming up limping a little bit. Gadel will check back in for Davis. Drive and kick. 5 minutes to play. Down low in traffic, shot up no good. Rebound be a held ball. After that rebound, are they going to get a foul? And Ben Leibel underneath had a held ball. This will stay with Dordt. Media timeout, 4:56 to play. 86-38 Dordt over Viterbo. Tucker leads the V-Hawks with 15. Leads them with 4 rebounds. Tekel Foley's got 4 rebounds as well. I don't think anybody with more than 1 assist for Viterbo, no. Tucker 3 of 7 from deep. And Hughes and Pasak, the only players other than Tucker with more than 1 hoop. Schoenhoven leads Dordt with 15, 14 for Bleecker, 12 for Sievers. As they've gone a little deeper into the bench here, Harrison and Burkhart will not go into double figures. Schoenhoven, Harrison, Bleecker, and Hogendorn are all returning starters for Dordt from the national championship team of a year ago. I said this in the volleyball match last night. Not a broadcast that lends itself to a lot of stats because the scoreboard's obviously well in favor here of Dordt. New York shooting a little better here in the second half. They were shooting 25% in the first half, and up to 27% overall. They haven't turned it over a ton in the second half. That's good. Not a tremendously intense game, but good sign there. Nice cut to the bucket, double team, and a foul. Foul on Hughes. Foul's on 5. That's on Gadel. Hansen and Zomer back in for Dordt. We'll post feed. And they almost post up too low if that makes any sense. Ideally, you'd like to post up maybe a step higher and a little, maybe a half step towards the lane. Nice drive and a finishing transition by Gadel. 86-40 with 4.5 to play. Turn in no good. Good defense by Gadel. Jacobson in transition to Hughes. Hughes thought about a pull-up. Send back to Jacobson in the corner. Unloaded John. John will kick out. Gadel for 3, top of the key is on the way and good. Gadel rattles one down. 86-43 with just over 4 to go. In the lane, short floater is good from Grant. 88-43. John with it. Has a turnaround, about a 12-footer jump hook, no good. Rebound chased down in the corner by Zomer. So we hope to be joined by Viterbo head coach Jordan Scar after the ball game. Wing jumper that time, elbow jumper from Grant is good, 90-43. Hasn't gotten to 50 yet. It's been to 48, and right now it's at 47. Gadel for three, rattles one down. Second three of the fourth quarter here for Gadel. Gadel's now got 8. 3 minutes to play, 90-46. Rise and fire three from Niederstadt is long. Rebound chased down on the weak side by Grant. Pull up three, top of the key is no good. Grant chases down the rebound. Deflected and stolen by Hughes. Hughes in transitional push, kicks to Niederstadt. Niederstadt will drive, scoops one up, underhanded, underweighted a little bit. Rebound down. High degree of difficulty. Good passing though overall. Made 3 passes to get a spot where get a layup, but lost it off her leg that time. Did Zomer for Dordt. Watson and Klein back in. And Oth back in. I think first time we've seen her in the second half. And also in for Viterbo here is 25, Vanessa Wright. 5'6" sophomore, Eagan, Minnesota. What about a three to Niederstadt? Kick to John. Now John's got to be able to go to her left hand. You catch the ball on the left block there, and the defender's already a step to your right. Just drive hard with your left hand side of the lane. You should have a layup. Drive by Niederstadt, cut off in the alley, threw it away in the lane, battle for the loose ball. 5 to shoot. I'm not sure Viterbo knows that. Yeah, they do. They'll fire one up the horn. No good air ball. Rebound down to Viterbo, but shot clock violation on Viterbo. Under 2 to go, 90-46. So Dordt going to win their season opener. Vhawks going to drop their season opener. Vhawks on the road here for a couple after this. Rebound Niederstadt. At Grandview, that'll be on Tuesday. At St. Francis of Indiana, they're ranked 8th in the country a week from tonight. At Goshen, that's in Indiana as well, Saturday the 1st. Exhibition against Winona State, back at home against Northwestern, I'm going to guess, of Iowa. On the 11th, time still to be determined on that one. John will drive, nice job flushing that through in traffic, but couldn't convert. 3 on the way from the wing is good. They got good shooters off the bench too. The left-handed fire there from Casey Hansen. 93-46. Deep 3 by Wright is good. Wow, Vanessa Wright from about 30 feet. A logo 3, essentially, for Vanessa Wright. 93-49 final minute. Answer on the way is short. And rebound Wright. Wright will attack. Wright will attack. Nice feed. 3 on the way from Niederstadt is hit the side of the backboard. And Dordt will get the rebound there with Watson. Kicks in the corner, drives baseline, cut off. 3 on the way again from Hansen is no good. Rebound down to Gadel, and the Vhawks will get the final shot of the evening. 93-49. As we said, Dordt will win the season opener. Vhawks will drop the season opener. Drive by Oth, no good, and I imagine here Dordt will be happy to dribble it out. I'll just hang on to it here. Final score will be Dordt 93, Vhawks 49. Dordt wins their season opener. Vhawks dropped their season opener. Outscored them in all 4 quarters. No, they didn't outscore them in the fourth here. There's some quick math here. 31. Yeah, Vhawks outscored them 18-16 in the fourth. But starting both halves with starters, outscored them 26-5 in the first quarter, outscored them 31-12 in the third quarter. So in the first and third quarter, outscored them by a combined 57-17. Outscored them by 40 in those 2 quarters in a 44-point margin. As we said, next action here in the Beggs Gymnasium be a week from tomorrow. Women's volleyball back in action, afternoon match. Might clinch the national tournament berth again this season that day. Women's basketball back at home on November 11th. That would be a Tuesday. That would be a Tuesday the 11th against Northwestern, and then set time, not for sure on the time in on the 11th, set time on the 12th against Trinity Christian at 5:30. So that very well may be a men's-women's doubleheader that night. We said hope to be joined by Viterbo head coach here, Jordan Scar, in a few minutes. Check and see if there's anything kind of big picture we didn't touch on that I'd wanted to before we get to just the statistical team and individual statistical rundown. I don't think there was. For the game, Dordt ended up shooting 47%, 35 of 74. V-Hawks shot 26%, 18 of 61. So 13 fewer field goal attempts for Viterbo. Dordt 7 of 22 actually didn't outshoot him from three-point range. 7 of 22 was Dordt, 32%. V-Hawks 9 of 33, 27%. Dordt got to the line better and shot it there. 16 of 18, 89%. V-Hawks just 4 of 9 from the line. Didn't get there enough, didn't shoot it well enough from there. Turnovers were better in the second half. Only committed, I believe it was 3 second-half turnovers. And Dordt outscored them 14-2 off turnovers. Out-rebounded them 31-27. 10-6 in terms of offensive rebounds. V-Hawks only had 3 assists on 18 field goals. You like that number to be a little higher. Dordt wasn't great in that area either. 8 assists on 35 field goals. 3-2 in blocks, 3-1 in steals. Fouls were about even. Dordt outscored them 35-24 off the bench. 10-2 in second chance points, 10-2 in the paint. And they didn't end up tallying fast break points tonight, but Dordt would have won that as well. All right, for Dordt, Gracie Schoenhoven led them with 15 tonight. 5 of 7 shooting from the field, 5 of 5 from the line. Couple rebounds, couple assists. Willow Bleeker had 14. 2 of 4 from deep, 4 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line, and a couple rebounds. AC Severs, the returning National Player of the Year, had 12. 6 of 10 shooting, but 0 of 3 from deep, so she was 6 of 7 from two-point range. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Olivia Harrison had 9. Perfect night from the floor. A couple of rebounds in there as well. Aubrey Burkhart had 8. 2 of 4 from deep was Burkhart. Mara Grant had 8 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. They had a bunch of players with 6 or more. 3, 4. Pretty balanced scoring for Dordt. They had 9 players with 6 or more points. Only 3 in double figures, but 6 players between 6 and 9 points. We mentioned Burkhart. Grant had 8 on 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, 4 rebounds. Modesta Hogenboom had 8 points as well, 4 of 8 from two-point range, 3 rebounds. Kind of peeking every so often here. See what Coach Scar will head this direction. Goodwin had 7, 3 free from the line. Drent had 6, led them with 6 rebounds as well. Casey Hansen had a 3. Liv Klein had a 3. That's about it statistically for Dordt. For the V-Hawks, Nora Tucker leads the V-Hawks with 18 tonight, probably a career high for her. I recall her having 18 at any point in the last 2 seasons. 4 of 8 from deep, 6 of 12 overall for Tucker, 4 rebounds as well. She and Tecco Foley led the V-Hawks with 4 rebounds apiece. Lauren Gadel finished with 11, 3 of 3 from deep, 3 rebounds. Only 2 players with the V-Hawks with more than 4, so the V-Hawks only had 2 players with 6 or more points. Dordt had 9. Much deeper team tonight was Dordt. Hughes had 4, a couple rebounds, couple assists. Pasak had 4 with a couple of rebounds. Davis had 3 and a couple of rebounds. Taylor Jacobson hit a 3. Carly Drew hit a 3. Kira John had a bucket. Williamson made a free throw. That's about it statistically for the V-Hawks. We'll continue to wait a minute or two here for V-Hawks head coach Jordan Scar. Run through their schedule quick. They're at Grandview Tuesday at St. Francis of Indiana, ranked 8th in the country. Week from tonight, that's a tournament at St. Francis, so they'll play St. Francis on Friday night, and then they'll play Goshen of Indiana on Saturday the 1st. Morning game there, exhibition against Winona State on Thursday, November 6th, and then back at home here. They do have a time here now for the Northwestern game. They'll play Northwestern Tuesday the 11th, Trinity Christian Tuesday the 12th, both at 5:30. So that's the upcoming schedule for the V-Hawks. Continue to wait here for Jordan Scar. Final score once again, 93-49 tonight. V-Hawks fall to Dordt in their season opener. Imagine after your first game and your first loss here, you kind of want to make an extra coaching point or two if you're Jordan Scar. So we'll hold things here. We'll give Coach Scar an extra minute or two to join us. Volleyball team, as we said, will be back here at home a week from tomorrow, Saturday, November 1st. I believe that's a 1 o'clock afternoon match, senior day. The Hawks could officially clinch the national tournament berth that day. Their magic number to do that is 3. They got a couple matches on the road next Tuesday and Wednesday, and then back at home a week from tomorrow. Never did give this, by the way. Printed this out. Dordt has been ranked in 27 consecutive polls. Every poll in the last 3 years, obviously the first poll this year and the final 2 polls of 2022. So they've been pretty much ranked consistently here from 2022, spring of 2022 to fall of 2025. So they've been at this level. Obviously they've been at the national championship level here the last 2 years, but heading into a third likely, and they've kind of been at a big national team level here for getting close to 3.5 or 4 years. I don't see anybody from the Chicagoland on this list. Most impressive one in here, Campbellsville, Kentucky, has been ranked in 170 consecutive polls. That goes back to at least 2009. Holy cow. 38, 46, 54, 62, 70, 93, 83, 96, 109, 22, 35, 47, 58, 70. They've been ranked in every poll since 2009. I'm assuming they're ranked, if they've been ranked that long, yeah, they're third in the country this year in the preseason poll. Yes, Dordt team's been ranked in 27 consecutive polls. Campbellsville, Kentucky, ranked in 170 consecutive polls. Lost in the round of 16 to Campbellsville, Kentucky a year ago. I'm not exactly sure where in Kentucky that is, to be honest with you. Trying to hold here as long as we can to get a few comments here from Jordan Scar after this 93-49 loss in the V-Hawks season opener to Dordt of Iowa, two-time defending national champ. Women's soccer, I believe, at home tomorrow. See if I can find that composite schedule. There we go. It's August. We need to get to end of February. Now both men's and women's soccer home tomorrow. Men's soccer at home, St. Francis of Illinois, 1 o'clock. Women's at 3:30 against Calumet over at the fields on Highway 16. Men's soccer at home as well on Tuesday afternoon. As we said, a volleyball team here back at home a week from tomorrow, 1 o'clock match. But trying to give Mr. Scar here as long as he can. At some point here we'll run out of things to stretch with time. Like you said, first game here, you're probably going to want to get as many points in as you can. Sometimes after you get blown out like this, you don't want to say a whole lot and just kind of save it for practice. But they play again Tuesday, and they might not have. I'm guessing they're not going both days this weekend, but they might go one day this weekend and then on Monday. So they might only have 2 practices between now and the next game Tuesday to get some stuff in. So you maybe spend a little longer than you normally would here after a blowout loss to get some thoughts in. We said nice crowd from Dordt made the trip, probably about 2 to 3 dozen people. Well, the Dordt players over there talking with their parents and family members that are on the opposite side. Stick with us here. I'll hold for Jordan Scar as long as I can until it's obvious he's not coming. If I'm seeing players start to appear, that means we got to be close to Coach Scar appearing. I think those are Viterbo players who just came out of the locker room area. Pretty quick ball game tonight too. It's 7:45. Okay, apparently we just saw from a text from former assistant coach Ron Latva here that we had some issue with the audio back at the beginning of the broadcast, but apparently that got fixed and was fine for more than half of the broadcast, so apologize for that. First time I've looked at any high school scores tonight. Some few mild surprises in there. High school football, by the way. First night of the high school football playoffs here in Wisconsin. I'm going to hit one of those on the way home back to Toma tonight. Said it a couple of times. I think bears quickly repeating. I'd like to see Dordt. If you get him into a half-court game, I'd like to see Dordt in a game where it's a little tighter whistle in a tighter game. So no effect on the outcome tonight, obviously, but I'd like to see how they react to a little tighter whistle and a game where they're forced to play a little half-court, more half-court than what they were tonight. 93-49. Yeah, I'm starting to see Viterbo players out in the lobby, too. All right, the assistant coach, Brooklyn Paulson, out. Jordan Scar is he's heading this direction. So we waited for him. I figured he'd join us here at some point. So just a half a dozen kind of big picture things I want to talk about. Not sure that's kind of got covered real well in western Wisconsin. Just kind of the nature of the media beast these days. You don't get you used to get a new head coach somewhere. You get kind of a story and a feature and kind of a story on his background and stuff, and didn't get that tonight. As Viterbo head coach Jordan Scar joins us. We never figured out the second mic thing, so I just kind of ask a question, hand you the mic, and you talk into the mic. So, again, big picture, you kind of knew this wasn't a soft landing tonight. That's maybe the first thing that kind of stands out on this one.
Yeah, I think in terms of playing the number one team in the country, defending national champions, we knew what was ahead of us. Graduating one player at their 5 position, bringing about 98% of everything back. We knew it was going to be a challenge, and really besides that first quarter blitz and then a little bit of maybe 4 or 5 minute segment in that third quarter, I thought we competed really well. I mean, we truly did. We took a lot of threes because we had a lot of good in and outs and some open shots, and stuff just didn't fall from that end. But, I liked the competitiveness that we stayed with it for 40 minutes. And a great learning opportunity for first game of the season.
Speaking of learning opportunity, I imagine you're going to have everybody's attention in practice whenever you practice again. If you're going this weekend, or you're going on Monday again. But kind of a night where everybody's going to have 2 eyes on you after you take a rough one in the season opener.
Yeah, I think, and that's only going to benefit us. I think having this game, having it scheduled with the number one team in the country, those are the teams you want to play to see where you're at. And we talked a lot about details and fundamentals, and that's kind of been our approach these 22 days of practice. And you can see where that wasn't always consistent for us tonight. So that's going to be another conversation we have as far as being able to focus on the details of the game, the fundamentals of the game, and being able to kind of give ourselves a better chance offensively, defensively with those things.
Never really saw a big feature story from anywhere in the media here in western Wisconsin after you got the job, so why not kind of hit 2 or 3 things that might have been discussed in that kind of an article here. I assume very happy you got the job. This is something you've been you and I know each other coaching baseball way back when, 15 years ago, so it's kind of something you've been shooting for, to have this type of a head coaching job for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic start so far. The kids have been awesome. Being a part of the possible conversation, several years ago when this job was open, really helped me get ready for what would potentially be that next time coming through. It's just really, really excited. Putting in the time as a 10-year assistant, being able to really focus on, what that looks like, how to run a program, working, for and with the coaches that I worked for in the past, really helped get me prepared for this. Viterbo is a great school. Being right here in the La Crosse area originally from, 20 minutes north of here. My brother's an alum of here. Just a lot of things that really lined up for me and my family to be here, and really excited about what we're going to build. The kids have, like I said, they've been great to start with. As we continue to get better, as we continue to learn the game, learn concepts, we have a real bright future within this team right now, but then also with what we're going to continue to build moving forward.
with the way the game went tonight, probably didn't have a great opportunity to do the kind of things you want to do big picture. But what kind of ways do you want to play on both sides? You want to play faster, a little more half court on offense. Same thing on defense. So you want to play more man or zone, or you want to push the tempo a little bit, or?
Yeah, we want to push tempo. We want to create some chaos on that end of the floor defensively. I think offensively, we had some good movement. We had some good structure to what we were trying to do. We found our windows, and we found extra passes when we were able to make that pass. And so, defensively, being able to create some chaos on that end of the floor, and offensively, playing a flow, playing a kind of structured but freestyle offense that allows our kids to use their skill sets, but being able to play a little tempo and kind of mix things up defensively, try to keep those rotations guessing as people sub in, is kind of the vision that we're going to have moving forward.
Last thing for you here, this is your first head coaching job in basketball, right? You've been a head coach in baseball at the high school level, and you said kind of worked your way as a 10-year assistant in various places in college. What's kind of the biggest thing you've learned so far being a head coach as opposed to being an assistant chair for about 10 years?
There's a lot. I think from the standpoint of, this position, having a couple former players in that part-time assistant role, there's a lot of things that I did as an assistant that I'm now doing as a head coach, which I think has eased that transition some. And it's, the time management with what we have, being able to get in the gym with players and work on individual skills, getting those practice plans written and kind of what we want to focus on throughout the day, the film sessions. And so I think I've been fortunate enough to really have been prepared for a lot of those things with the coaches I've worked for. That transition didn't seem as drastic into that next chair, just because I've had the experience that I had prior.
Thank you very much here, and I'm sure we'll have you at some point down the line on a webcast again. Thanks, and a little lighter opponent, a little softer touch coming at some point here, right? So, yeah, thanks very much. That's Jordan, new Viterbo head coach Jordan Scar. All right, the headset back on my ears here. Thanks very much to Viterbo head coach Jordan Scar for joining us here. Like I told him, I don't think that's kind of been covered in Western Wisconsin. New head coach here for the Viterbo women. Didn't see any sort of a kind of a feature story from anywhere other than kind of the standard. We've got a new head coach release from Viterbo. Wanted to kind of touch on some of those things that might have been hit there. Final score tonight, Dordt 93, Viterbo 49. Craig Otto signing off from La Crosse. Good evening, everybody.